Alexa, set your volume to 2. Namaste. Just give me 1 second. Yoga Sutra. Book 3. Sutra. 42. There we go. Mic check, mic check. Checking mic check. Good. Namaste. This session's gonna go pretty quick, I think. The only question is how long it'll take me to go over Buddhacharitam. Let me see if I got the title right. No, I didn't get the title. Alright, I'm fixing the title. 1 second. Okay, reloading page. Good. Okay. Here we go. Namaste. Kanya ka shayoha sambanan tasamya marla kuptula sama patashang ka shakamanam sambanan tasamya marla ku sambanan tasamya marla ku sambanan tasamya marla kutula sambanan tasamya marla kutula sama patashang ka shakamanam. I will read one more time. Kanya ka shayoha sambanan tasamya marla kutula sama patashang ka shakamanam. Yatra ka yasatatra ka sham tasya baka shadana ka yasya tena sambanan taha. Number 1 alternative. 1 second. Sambanan ta vapati. And then what? They don't include the whole thing. Okay, this row, I think. This tatran. This tatran. Okay, that's the alternative. They don't put the whole word in there. That's my only complaint. Sambanan ta vapati Why didn't you put the whole word in there? Sambanan this tatran. Okay. This tatran. Sambanan ta vapati tatran. Okay, so that's number 2 alternative, and there's another one. Sambanan to vyapati tatran, and that's number 3. And there's one more, which is this one. Yeah, so many alternatives. Prapati tatran. Okay, so this is the 4th alternative. Sambanan ta prapati tatran. I just want to get through all of them. I think that's it. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Moving on. Yeah, that's what I have to do. I have to enunciate every possibilities. Prapatisatatra kurata samyamo jituvang tata sambanan tam lakushu vang tulang dishu vang paramanu piahu. Number 2. And this is the second alternative. Nuosan. Paramanu sama patatim lapatuvang Jita sambananto lakul pavati. Number 3 alternative. Number 3 has 2 alternatives. No, it's just lakuha. They changed it to lakuha. Lakuha. And yeah, skip pavati. Lakuha, lakul pavati, lakutuvan jajam, jale pada pyam viharati, tatasatul nana Tatasatu nana pitanantu matre bihurutiyan rashamishu viharati tato yateshitama shagatirasya pavati ti. Namaste. Okay. Either as the result of constraint upon the relation between the body and the air, or as the result of the balanced state of lightness, such as that of the cotton fiber, there follows the passing through air. Wherever there is a body, there is air, because it gives space to the body. The relation with this is that of obtaining it. By performing constraint upon this relation, the yogin subjugates the relation with this, and gaining the balanced state of lightness, such as that of the cotton fiber, even to atoms, he becomes light himself. And by reason of this lightness, he walks with both feet upon water. Next after this, however, he walks upon nothing more than a spider's thread, and then upon sunbeams. Thereafter, he courses through the air at will. Okay. Next up is Veda. Thank you. Veda, Book 4, Hymn 53. 54, sorry, 54. Okay. Six shlokas. This is too big. I like big letters, but this is a little too big. Maybe this, yeah. There we go. Namaste. Apu de dabahe sabitanga manendio nu na idangani mahuna ubabangajio nurpihe vi yo ratana Pajati manave piyahe shirashutam no atra drabinam yatanga datat deva pyo hi pratamam yajini yapyo muratavam subati pagamutatamam adidamanam sabitai biulnu fuenuchi nang sabitai biulnu Sabitai biur nu shuat Sabitai biur nu shuat nu chi na Sabitai biur nu shat nu Sabitai biur nu shat nu chi na Chi bitan manu shuat pya he Achitati yachachakarama Dai bien jane di nail dakushoi he praputi Purushat batang Teve shuchan Savitai manu shue shuchan Tevam no atra subatan dana gasahe Na Puramiye Savitul dai viasyan Tadiatan Vishevam puvanam Tara yishoti Yata purati bien Varimanana Sebangangari bashiman Sebangangari bashiman Sebangangul, sorry. Yato purati bien Varimanana Sebangangul Baishil, wow. Sebangangul Baishimanan Divan Sebangangul Baishimanan Divahe Subati Satyamasya Tate Inandaraja Shuta Nambura Hada Piahe Balbate Piahe Gushayam Epia Gushoyam Epia Subasi Basatiyan Batahe Yatan Batayanando Priyamiran Evan Dasutuhe Savitahe Savanyate Yete Turira Hananta Savitahe Savanso Dive Sapagamanu Sapagama Suvananti Inandro Diyavan Purativi Sinentura de Piran Ditiailno. Sinentura de Piran Ditiailno Aditiha Shaima Yamsatte. Yamsatte. Namaste. That one's not bad. Not perfect, but not too bad. Now must we praise and honor Savitar, the god. At this time of the day, the men must call to him who distributes wealth to Manu's progeny, that he may grant us here riches most excellent. For thou at first producest for the holy gods the noblest of all portions, immortality. Thereafter, as a gift to men, O Savitar, thou openest existence, life succeeding life. If we, men as we are, have sinned against the gods through want of thought, in weakness, or through insolence, absolve us from the guilt and make us free from sin, O Savitar, alike among both gods and men. None may impede that power of Savitar, the god, whereby he will maintain the universal world. What the fair-fingered god brings forth on earth's expanse, or in the height of heaven, that work of his stands sure. To lofty hills thou sendest those whom Inandra leads, and givest fixed abodes with houses unto these. However, they may fly and draw themselves apart. Still, Savitar, they stand obeying thy behest. May the libations pour to thee thrice daily, day after day, O Savitar, bring us blessing. May Inandra, heaven, earth, Sinentu with the waters, Aditi with the Adityas, give us shelter. Okay, Namaste. Okay, next up is Upanishad.
Yeah. Only once I was but I reach over there.
Okay, Chan and Dogi Upanishad, book 8, Canon 7. I forgot to put, let me see. Yeah, I want to put the theme there. Should I put it? 1 second. Yeah, you know what? I'll keep Jezebel, man. Cool. Never mind. Alright, now I'm gonna drink some coffee. I'm gonna take a little break. So it's calendar 7, book 8, Chan and Dogi Upanishad. Right? Yeah, it is. Cool. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Duryodhana, Hare Uttishitiram. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Duryodhana, Hare Uttishitiram. Caffeine needs mantras. You can use the Hare Krishna mantra. You could use the other mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Duryodhana, Hare Uttishitiram. Okay, cool. Namaste. Okay, so give me like 1 minute because I want to relax a little more. You see this word here? It's servam. The original word is servam sitjang. They changed it to servam, and also they separated to sitjang, and they made it optional. And this is not, that's, you know, not, that's not right. Servam, and there's so many servams, and I got Trim Shatam. Trim Shatam. That's one word also. Trim Shatam. That's it. Okay, so give me 30 seconds. Thank you. Namaste. Namaste. Here you go. 양 Tama pahatapa pama Jivaro Bimurutil Bishoko Vijakata Sopapa Vijakata Sopipa Saha Satya Kamaha Satya Samkare Paha Sonam Vashita Vyaha Sam Biji Jinya Sita Vyaha Sam Saivam Shecham Lokana Punoti Saivam Shecham Kama Nyasatama Tama Namano Vidyam Vijana Titi Ha Prajapati Rupacham 다두도파에 대바수랑 아누부부티레 대 호출하는 땅 아누부부티레 대 호출하는 땅 다마드마 나마는 배치 참모 야마드마 나마는 비슈여 살밤 쉐짱 로카나 분노티 살밤 쉐짱 까마니티는 드로 하이바 대바나마 피프라부라 바부랑장 Devana Pipra Babraja Virochano Surano Tao Ham Ha Sambidana Beva Samit Panui Prajapati Saka Shama Jagmatuha one more Prajapati Saka Shama Jagmatuha Tao Ha Devatrim Shatam Pasho Nui Brahmacharya Mushatu Sutao Ha Prajapati Ruvacha Kimicha Chananta Basatamiti Tao Hochaturian Atma Pahatapa Pama Bijaro Bimurutil Bishoko Vijikata Sopipa Saha Satya Kamaha Satya Samkare Paha Sonam Vashita Vyaha Sa Vijijinya Sita Vyaha Sa Saivam Shechang Lokana Punoti Saivam Shechang Kama Nyasatama Tama Namamut Vidya Kama Nyasatama Tama Namano Vidya Vijana Titi Bhagavato Bacho Veda Yanante Damiche Chananta Babat Damiti almost Dasamiche Chananta Das Deva Yanante Damiche Chananta Baba Damiti Tao Han Prajapati Ruvacha Ya Eshoku Shuinui Purusho Duroshyatan Esho Atmeti Oba Chaitada Murutan Ma Payametada Brahme Tiatan Okay Oba Chaitada Muruta Ma Payame Okay Oba Chaitada Muruta Paya Murutama Oba Chaitada Muruta Ma Paya Metada Brahme Tiatan Oba Chaitada Muruta Ma Paya Ma Oba Chaitada Muruta Ma Paya Ma Payama Oba Chaitada Muruta Ma Paya Metada Brahme Tiatan So Yoyam Pagabopusu Parikian Yate Yashechan Yama Daishe Gama Katama Esho Etiesho U Evan Esho Salve Shivananteshu Parikian Yatan Iti Hobanjan. I wanna read the fourth shloka over again. Down Han Prajan Patiruvajan Yan Eshoku Shuinui Purusho Duroshyatan Esho Atmeti Hoban Chaitada Murutama Paya Metade Hoban Chaitada Murutama Paya Hoban Chaitada Murutama Paya Hoban Chaitada Murutama Paya Metade Brahmetiatan Yoyam Pagabopusu Parikian Yate Yashechan Yama Daishe Katama Esho Itiesho U Eva Esho Salve Shivananteshu I had it right and I thought of myself. Parikian Yatan Iti Hobanjang Namaste Iti Sapatamaha Kanandaha. The self which is free from evil, ageless, deathless, sorrowless, hungerless, thirstless, whose desire is the real, whose conception is the real. He should be searched out. Him one should desire to understand. He obtains all worlds and all desires, who has found out and who understands that self. Thus spake Prajapati. Then both the gods and the devils heard it. Then they said, "Come, let us search out that self, the self by searching out whom one obtains all worlds and all desires." Then Inindra from among the gods went forth unto him, and Virochana from among the devils. Then, without communicating with each other, the two came into the presence of Prajapati, fuel in hand. Then for 32 years the two lived the chaste life of a student of sacred knowledge. Then Prajapati said to the two, "Desiring, what have you been living?" Then the two said, "The self, which is free from evil, ageless, deathless, sorrowless, hungerless, thirstless, whose desire is the real, whose conception is the real. He should be searched out. Him one should desire to understand. He obtains all worlds and all desires, who has found out and who understands that self. Such do people declare to be your words, sir. We have been living desiring him." Then Prajapati said to the two, "That person who is seen in the eye, he is the self of whom I spoke. That is the immortal, the fearless, that is Brahma. But this one, sir, who is observed in water and in a mirror, which one is he?" "The same one, indeed, is observed in all these," said he. Okay. Next and last is Buddhacharitam. It's a very relaxing read, but it's really hard. So it's gonna take me a long time to finish it, but it's really relaxing. Buddhacharitam next. Thank you. I'm taking a 2-minute break because it's like 54 shlokas. Okay. The extension got messed up when it got updated, so I have to fix everything here. Sorry. Alright, mic check. It's louder. Huh. My voice is louder. Mic is really close. Mic check. That's good. Oh wow, it's longer than I thought. It's 100 slokas long. Wow. So it's gonna take me forever. It'll take me 1 hour and a half to finish this. I don't know if I'm up for it, but I have to do it. So I'm gonna take a little more break, because this is really hard. Okay. Buddhacharitam, the life of Buddha. Yeah, once I start, it's non-stop for 1.5 hours. So I don't know. And Buddhacharitam is the last Sanskrit literature to have been ever written, and the proof of that is in the fact that it cuts off at chapter 14 in the middle. That's the end of Sanskrit. Alright, here we go. Sutri Vikhatano. Namaste. tasmat prodianat kautu hala chalekushonah kautu hala chalekushonah pratiu jaga mulmur nirupa sutam pratiu jaga jaga nirupa sutam pratiu jaga nirupa sutam prapatam paramiba satriyah Apigamya jang ta setasmai bismayot pula lochana bismayot pula lochana jakarire samudang jangram padma koshani pai karai tasatushi jang paribari ainam manumata kushupita chatasah dishijalai Priti vikachai he, vibanantiya ivan lochanai he. Tam hi tang menire narya he, kamo pigra habaniti. Shopitam lakushanoi diputai he, sajai pushanoi rivam. Saomiat vanchachai van, tairiya chacham. Kanshichi danam prajajinire avatil no mahim sankushad sutam shushanandramaya Ivan nasiyan tan papushwa kushoipitan Nilgrahitum jajaramam pirem Anioniam dırışıtui pilgatvan Shanai shijang bini shashivasuha Evam tan dırışıtui mantreno nario dadırışurevan tam Na biaja hurulna Jahasuha praphabeno siya yanantarita Tangasatatan tu liraramam pan Terashartavan Paranoyabil Glavavan Purohita suto Timanudai Pakiyama parabit Salvakalan jinya Satan Phava grahana pananduita Rupa chan turiya samampanana sevagunoi mukhyatang katang shopayatan gunoira pirapi tanutataran guruna Guberasyan pi gridam pragevan pasuthamimam Shagatan shechan layitum yuyam pitaraga nurushwinapi Apasaro pishechan kalitan grahitum vibhutanapi Pambajinyanena habena jaturiya durupasasampadam jaturiya durupadasamampadam Sutri no mevan chan shakatan he satan samrage kim punanurunum tang sang mevan Tang sam mevan bitanam po biukutanam sevagocharim yam mevan bitan 这是对那都是多斯米样都是多斯米样加贝那巴赫 idam nababa tunam bo hari nakuncita jakushushwam hari nikuncita jakushushwam Dadarasham jashutuitam hi siyandapi pan kopayo shuitam yad kopayo shuitam yadyapi siyandayam viraha shri prapambana mahaniti Sutri namapi mahatutejam iti karyotaran dishchayahu Puran hi Kanshi Sunandariyan Kanshi Sunandariyan Peshavatavan Mahanushuiha Mahanurushuiha Tanduito Put Tanduito Put Padanya Sad Dultaishua Dultaishua Padanya Sad Duldal Padanya Sad Dultaishua Daiva Dairapin Manantan la Gautamo Manantan la Gautamo I can't say Gautamo Manantan la Gautamo Pekushuljangan Krayan Pekushuljangan Kayan Bala Mukyayan Pipuran Shushijan Tadal Tam Vyasuna Diraharat Puran Gautamam Dilkatapasam Mahashwing Dilkajibinam Yoshwita Sanatosha Yamasa Parnasatana Baran Sati Roshuya Shanangam Munisutam Tataivan Satri Shiva Pananduitama Upaya Bibitai Shanandam Jagaraha Jahara Vishivan Mitro Mahashri Shichan Diga Tropi Mahatatapan Tasha Barsho Nuya Ra Nuya Sato Tasha Barsho Tasha Barsho Nuya Ra Nuya Sato Kurata Jiang Kurata Jiang I'm messing up on the vowels. Tasha Barsho Nuya Ra Nuya Sato Kurata Jia Pasarasan Kurata Evamadi Nurushoyim Satam Evamadi Nurushoyim Satam Satan Nanayana Vikriyan Satriyahu Lalitam Pulvavayasam Kim Mulanura Pateha Sutam Tadevam Sati Vishrabutam Prayatativam Yatan Iyam Nurupasya Vamshashri Rito Na Siyat Parang Mukhi Yang Hi Kashetidio Batayo Yang Hi Kashetidio Batayo Harananti Sadurasham Janam Nikurashirto Yulpavam Yang Kuruhunananti Tu Tang Satriyahu Etiudang Yipachah Shrutavang Tang Vidatang Iba Yoshuitahu Samaruru Huranatamanam Kumara Kurahanam Prati Tang Pupiha Brakushuitai Pau Brakushuitai Pavai Hasitai Lalitai Gatai Brakushuitai Pavai Hasitai Lalitai Gatai Brakushuitai Pavai Prupiha Brakushuitai Pavai Hasitai Brakushuitai Pavai Hasitai Lalitai Gatai Jakurora Kushwe Pikanshi Jashutwe Jakurora Kushwe Pikanshi Jashutwe Pita Pitang Ibang Gana Rajinya Sutu Biniyogena Kumara Siang Chakal Dama Kaldabantu Rajinya Sutu Biniyogena Kumara Siang Chakal Jafuruha Pita Pi Jakurura Kushwe Pitang Jakuruha Kushwi Brahma Vishiramam Pam Kushwi Brahma Vishiramam Pam Madanena Jam Atha Nari Janavarataha Kumaro Vyachara Devanama Pasitang Yutha Sahitaha Karivan Himavadevanama Santasamina Kanane Ramye Jajibala Satri Puraha Saraha Agrida Ivan Bapraja Viva Seba Napa Saro Buddhataha Madena Vajitang Nama Tam Gashe Chit Tatara Yoshwitaha Katui Naiha Pasapuroshuha Pi Naiha Sangan Katoi Sangan Katoi Barigu Piha Sitanaiha Sirasetam Sakomala Lamamba Muradu Bahulata Balam Sirasetam Sakomala Lamamba Muradu Bahulata Balam Anuratam Sakalitam Ka Chitta Kurata Vainam Sivabajem Sasabaje, sorry. Ka Chitta Kurata Vainam Sasabaje Balat Ka Chitta Tamura Taroshutwenam Bukena Savaganantinam Finish Hashivan Sa Kalnuasiam Rahasiam Shuru Yatam Mitim Ka Chidang Chinya Payananti Va Provachad Dra Nulapana Ihan Pakatim Guru Shuvati Hasatam Samshali Shuya Lipusayang Muhul Madiang Muhul Madabiang Jasara Sata Muhul Madabiang Vaja Muhul Madabiang Jasara Satani Lam Shufkan Paran Muhul Madabiang Jasara Satani Lam Shufkan Paran La Kushya Rasana Deja Sapura de Vidéo Divin Sapura de Vidéo Divin Sapura de Vidéo Divin Sapura de Vidéo Divin Kushaban La Kushya Rasana La Kushya Rasana Deja Sapura de Vidéo Divin Kushaban Kan Shechete Kana Kakanji Pilmukara Pirita Setataha Kan Shechete Kana Kakanji Pilmukara Piti Tasetataha Kan Shechete Kana Kakanji Pilmukara Pirita Setataha Kan Shechete Kana Kakanji Ka Shechete Kana Kakanji Pilmukara Ka Shechete Kana Kakanji Pilmukara Piritas Tataha One more Ka Shechete Kana Kakanji Ka Shechete Kana Kakanji Pilmukara Piritas Tataha Bapura Muldashayanan to Bapura Muldashayanan Tiosian Shuronui Setanan Bam Shukan Buddhataha Shuronui Setanan Bam Shukan Buddhataha Jutashan Kam Kusumitam Praguru Hyanya Lanamambirem Subhana Kala Shaprakyan Dashayanan Tiaha Payotaran Ka Chitta Padma Bana Detian Ka Chitta Padma Bana Detian Ka Chitta Padma Bana Detian Sapadma Lochana Padma Bakudrasiam Pashivasiam Padma Shri Riva Tasutushwi Maturam Gita Manambaitam Ka Chitta Sa Pinayam Jagao Tam Sivasatam Jodayananti Va Vanchitosi Dia Bekushwitaiha Shupenam Padanena Nyam Pro Gai to Kavikai Shrino Pro Gai Mokavikai Shrino Pro Gai Mokavikai Shrino Pravatiam Duchakara Siam Cheshtuitam Pirali Layang Pina Baragusatani Kachidavata Kul Nuita Kunundalam 우체짜이라 바자 하사이남 사마브노투 파바니티 아빠야난담 다타이바니야 바바는 툴말리아 다마피흐 가시티트 사구셔파마투라의 자그르 홀바자나는 꾸샤이흐 almost 가시티트 사구쇼에 가시티트 사구쇼파마투라의 자그르 홀바자나는 꾸샤이흐 프라티요가티니 가치드 그르히트반 주다바라리마 이담 포시팜투 가시에티 파프라치잠 마다비클라반 가치트 purushava트 그르트반 가팀 삼스타나메반 짬 우방자이남 지타흐 스트리 필자야 포허 버티비 미맘 아탄 로레크 산월 가지즈 크 가지즈 치 가지즈 크라난티 니 람부터 팔라무 겐체는 마다칼라의 바키아에 늘어빠트 마자마 파샤탐 파시아 팔다시제탐 주탐 고수마의 마투가는 티피흐 헤마 반자라 루드토 바에 로킬로 코킬로 야트라 구자티 아쇼코 드로시아타메셔 가미쇼카 비발타나흐 루바는티 프라마라 야트라 다히야마나 이바그니나에 주다야슈투여 사마셜슈투 드로시아탐 딜라카두루마흐 슈클라반상 이바 나라흐 스트리양 비당은가라가양 푸르람 구루바캄 파시아 데모고타 라그타 카프라파마 요 나카프라파양 스트리놈 딜팔트시탐 이바 나타흐 Pala Shokashacham Nichito Turushiatamesha Paralavaih Yosumakam Hazatashopa Pilaja Man Hazatashopa Pilaja Yosumakam Hazatashopa Pila Hazatashopa Pilaja Jamana Ivan Satitahu Dilkikam Prabhutam Pasya Tirajaiha Sinendubarakai Paranduram Shuka Sambitam Shayanam Pramadamivam Turusyatam Sutrishu Mahatemyam Chakravako Yasao Jalem Purushatataha Purashuyavada Pariyamanu Purashuyavada Pariyamanu Burutya Nugacha Jati Matatasyam Paramurashata Matatasyam Parapurshatasyam Ruvataha Shruyatam Tuvaniha Aparaha Kokilondutakaha Pratishrutiyava Kujati Api nama vihanganganam pasanantena hito madaha na tu jinantaya dashachitatam janasya prajinyamaninah ityavam tang yuvatayo manamatodamatatasaha Kumaram Bibitaisai Rupa Chakram Mire Bibitaisai Rupa Chakram Mire Nayaiha Evama Kushwipyama Nopi Santu Tairiya Burutanandriyahu Maltabiamiti Soduvego na Jaharsha na Sismiem Tansam Tatatavana Pasatanam Dirashartavan. Am I still online? My camera just went out. Let me just double check. Yeah, something happened to my camera. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. The camera got messed up. All kinds of things like that. Alright, so continuing. Sorry about that. Mic check. Let me just check if my stream is still live. Okay, still live. Since when did I lose camera? I lost camera for like 2 minutes. Okay. Starting from 54. Namaste. Evama kushuipyama nopi santu tairia brutenendriyahu. Maitabiamiti soduvego na jahaisho na shidumie. Tansam tatatavana vasatanam dirashartavana sa purushotamahu sasambigunenam tirena jinantayama sa chatasam kimpina navakachajananti chapalam yavanam satriyahu yato rupena samampananam jarayam na shayushyati Nunametang na pasyananti kasyachid roga samuplabama Tatang harashurta payam vyakatavang jagati vyati taiminui Ani pijinya Ana pijinya shichang suvyakatam buratiyoha saiba paharinaha Tatang sabasatang nirudabekang guridananti 자 하사는티 짱 짜랑 비야 팀짱 무르티움짱 고히 짜난 사짜따나흐 스바스타스 데슈터네 디슈이 데드방아 수페드방아 겜 보나이 하세트 야스투 드르셔트방아 바람 질남 비야 티탐 무르타메방짱 스바스토 파바티 노드 비그놈 야탕 아자탕 스타타이바 사흐 비우지아마네 비 따라오 보시파이라피 팔라이라피 파타티 쯔찌디아마네 망아 따로라니요 나 쇼차템 이티 티아나 바람 드르셔트방아 비셔야피오 가타스푸르하무 우당이 니 디샹아 스트라지냐 스타무방아짱 소흐르트타양네 아함 느르파티나 따뜻하흐 사카 투피암 쿠샤마흐 killam 야스마트바이 디바쿠슈 메타양 프라노야바트타양 아히탕 트 프라티슈 타시짱 히트 Janu Prabhaitanam Pyasane Cha Paritya Gasatri Vitam Vitralakushanam Soham Maitrim Pratijinyaya Purushol Tat Parang Mukham Yadi Devam Samupekushwayam Na Pavena Mitratan Mai Tadu Brabi mi suhore de pu devant Taronasian Paposha Matahu Idam na Pratiru Pam te Sutri Shivaban Sutri Shivada Kushuino Yami Durashama Anarutana Pi Nari Nam Yukutam Samano Baitanama Tadubri dwa parihara tamat maratia tial tamevan. Tadubri dwa parihara tamat maratia tamevancham. 사는나스 사는나스 사는나티스 사는나티스 짱노 사는나티스 짱노 버릇뜻티시 짱 스트리놈 흐르다야마는 타나무 스네하시양 히구네 요닐마나까마시짱 요슈이타흐 다달하시 비샹라쿠슈 흐르다야피 바랑무케 무 루파시양 시양 누루페나 다쿠슈이 누에 다쿠슈이 누에 나누바이티투무 다쿠슈이 누에 마우쇼탐 다쿠슈이 누에 마우쇼탐 스트리놈 다쿠슈이 누에 푸셔넘 바람 다쿠슈이 누에 하리담 하리하 라히담 다쿠슈이 누에 라히담 다쿠슈이 누에 라히담 루밤 디슈푸시 파미밤 까나나마 김밤 다쿠슈이 누에 마트레나 파베나스트 파리그라하흐 비셔양은 둘라팜르라 부트반 나 야바지냐 또마하시 까만 파라미티 지냐 뜨반 데보피 히 뿌라난다라흐 가우타마시야 무네흐 파트니 마할리암 자카메 뿌로엔 아가스티아흐 프라타야마사 소마파리암 자 로히누임 타스마트 타트사드러샴 라테 lokpa mudramitī shrutīha avtatyāsyāṃ ca pāriyāyāṃ mamatāyāṃ mahatapāha marutiyāṃ janayāmāsa paradvājam purahasapatay mahishvayam ca juhubatam paraha buddham vibhutataimanam janayamasa janandramaha kalima jaiva puran kanyam jalaprabhava samampavana jagama yamuna tire jataragaha parasharaha 마땅한 거리야 올기야 스카라비기야 마땅한 기야 마쿠샤 말라얌 가히타얌 유람사얌 까빈잘라담 따나얌 바시슈토자나 야는 모니허 야양 대시장이방 라자슈이 바야시야 Shui Raja Shui Vayasyapi Vinikatem Vishivan Jyap Sarasan Saitam Dame Jaitarate Vanim Sutri Samsarigam Vinashanantam Panundul Jinyat Vapi Gauravahu Madri Rupaguna Kushopatahu Sishweva Gama Jam Sukhama Karala jana kashicaiva hurutvan brahmano kanyakam avapa pramshama apieva natu vyajacham manamatama evamadiyan mahatmano vishayan kahitanapi rati hetoi Tolbu Pujire Patiha Tolbu Pujire Prageva Guna Samhitam Devam Punamia Yataha Prabhutana Palavana Rupavana Yuvan Vishayana Vajanasi Yatra Sakatamidam Jagat Iti Shrutavan Pachasatasya Shilakushana Magasma Shalakashana Magama Samhitama Vakasatanitana Nikaya Nikolshaha Vakasatanita Nikolshaha Kumaraha Pratyapashatam Upapanamidam Bhagyam Sauhai Davianjakam Sauhai Davianjakam Tevai Atrancha Tevanune Shuyami Yatra Ma Dushitva Manyasam Nabajanami Vishayanjane Lokam Tadatamakam Anityam Tu Jaganamattavam Nadara Me Ramate Manahu Charan Vya Tishicha Murutiyushicha Yadi Na Syadidam Tarayama Mama Bihi Manojinyashu Vishayashu Batil Pavet Nityam Yadyapi Hi Sutri Na Metabeva Sutri Na Metadeva Apul Pavet Sasambitu Kasya Kameshu Tatapi Na Ratiha Kushama Yadang Tu Jarayang Pitam Rupama Sam Pavishyati Adamanopiyana Piprayam Mohat Tatram Ratil Pavet Murutyu Vyang Tijara Taimo Murutyu Vyang Tijara Taimo Murutyu Vyang Tijara Demapihu Ramama no Pia Sambigunaha Samano Muruga Pakushui Pihu Yada Pyang Tata Mahadama Nasatapi Kama Demakan Iti Sambegotra Na Kaltavio Yadang Desha Mapi Kushayahu Mahadamyam Na Ja Tatamaniam Mahadamyam Na Ja Tanamania Yatram Samanyatahu Kushayahu Vishayeshu Prasakutilbang Yukutilbang Natama Batatayang Yadapyam Tatan Ratenapi Sutri Jana Paityatamiti Anuratam Nabak Anuratam Nabakachami Takushuinuya Na very hard Takushuinuya Na Pi Kinchana okay, one more Anuratam Nabakachami Takushuinuya Na Pi Kinchana Na Janu Baitanam Janu Baitanam Taname Ruchitam Yatara Nai Jabam Salva Pabena Samampaiko Yati Na Seti Tigasutu Tate Anurate Shirada Tana Sya Sakutasya Dosho Daishinahu Kim Hi Panchayitavyam Sya Jijatara Kasya Chatasahu Manchayananti Cha Yadieva Cha Taragah Parasaparam Nanu Naiva Kushamam Tirashatum Narah Sutri Num Nirunam Sutriyah Nirunam Sutriyah Namaste Tadevam Sati Tuhakatatam Tuhakatatam Jaramarana Poginam Namam Game Shivana Teshu Namam Game Shivana Yeshu Pratarayitu Mahasi Pratarayitu Mahasi Nahoti Tiram Balabachajam De Manashichaleshu Kameshu Saradaishinahu Payapi Tibura Vishayeshu Sajujase Diri Kushamano Marano Tuvani Brajanhu Aham Punalpi Rurati Baba Viklavo Aham Punalpi Rurati Baba Viklavo Jara Vipadavya Tipayam 비치는 따야무 나페 나 샤는 팀나 트르팀 꾸또 라팀 디샤마야는 디부다미바 그 니낭에 디부다미바 그 니낭에 자가트 아삼샤얌 무르티우리티 프라자나토 나라시아 라고 흐르디 야시아 자야트 아요마임 다시아 바라이미 제타노엠 마하파예 구셔 마하 타쿠샤티 요나 로디티 아타오 구마라시자 비네샤자야 드미감 자카라 까마시라야 카티님 까타마 자나시야 자쿠슐가마니야 마는돌로 자쿠슐가마니야 마는돌로 마히타람 자스타미야야 파스카라흐 almost done tato pratatarita pushonosrajaha tato pratatarita pushonosrajaha kalaguno ishecha pranoya ishecha vishapalaiha silvan eva pave viniguruhyam manamatam puram yayulpaguna manorataha sutriyaha 야율파그나 마노라타 야율파그나 마노라타 스트리아흐 비닐그룹이야 따따흐 부로디아나가탐 자나시리암 니리쿠슈여 사얌 프라티삼흐르탐 puna흐 아니티아탐 살바가탐 비치는 따야는 비베샤 티슈누염 Kushuitipan lakata majahu pinchit time. Okay, I got one more left. I'm gonna back up and read one or two again. Tataha Burodiana Gatam Janashiriyam Niri Kushuya Sayam Parati Samhuratam Punaha Anityatam Salvagatam Pinchinantayanam Vivesha Tishunuyam Kushuitipan Lakata Majahu. And the last one. Tatahu Shrutavan Rajan Vishaya Bimukam Tasyatu Mano Na Shishyetam Ratarim Purudayagata Shalio Gaja Ivan Ata Shrananto Manantare Bahuvivitamaige Sasachivo Na Soniatakame Pio Niyamanama Pashyatu Sutamateha Niyamanama Pashyatu Sutamata Niyamanama Pashyatu Sutamateha Namaste. So that took me 40 minutes. That's actually faster than normal. It usually takes me 1 hour to do 100 shlokas. This took me 40 minutes. Okay. Namaste. Wait, was it really 40 minutes? Iti Shri Buddhacharitam Mahakavya Sutri Vakhatano Nama Chaturtha Sargaha. Sutri Vikhatano Nama Chaturtha Sargaha. Sorry. Vikhatano Namaste. Sutri Vikhatano Nama Chaturtha Sargaha. Namaste. I'm gonna take a 2-minute break because I just read straight up for 40 minutes and it's like my voice doesn't sound all that human right now. It's the effect of Sanskrit. Your voice may not sound human. Thank you, 2 minutes. I'm gonna make the music a little louder. Oh, it's really okay. That's better. And the version that I'm reading is it Johnston or the other one? Not Johnston. So Johnston doesn't translate certain shlokas because he thinks it's too promiscuous, which is, I don't know. I don't read his version because he refused to translate some shlokas because he thought that they were too much.
I think you're thinking of Five Fingers.
Right, 1 minute and then I'm reading the translation.
Oh, see, I need you to send me back what you're supposed to be doing with the stock thingy, the one to buy. METC, right? METC.
Namaste. Okay, 30 seconds.
You guys gotta be sending it to me. How am I just know?
This is Jezebel. Her real name was John Bonet Ramsey. She was murdered in 1996.
Oh, we're up to 3
Yeah, it's been almost 30 years now. And I did exorcism on her, one of her pictures, and first thing she told me is she said I had no manners. I have no manners. And second was she said she's infinitely higher than I am. And the third thing she said was I don't know who I am. And when she said that, I said, I can't really say anything against it because what she said, all the three things she said is actually true. I have no manners. She's infinitely higher than I am, and I don't know who I am. Yeah, so she said it. And as soon as I met her, she said it. And then she asked me, why should she wanted to destroy the earth altogether because she was, murdered when she was 6. So she thought that like the earth is not habitable. And she wanted to get rid of the earth, and I said, no, you can't get rid of the earth. You could get rid of certain elements of the earth, but you can't get rid of the earth. So that was where she went wrong, and then she, crossed over from being a dark creature to an angel creature. So she's now an angel creature, and she's my god, and my god is Barbie. That's who she is. And in order to invoke her, you go Om Shri Supadraya Namaha. Supatra literally means Barbie. It translates into, you can't really translate it into modern language, but if you had to translate it, it's Barbie. Supatra. Om Shri Supadraya Namaha. Okay, translation in now. Here we go. Sooner or later, I'm probably gonna make a poster of that picture and probably hang it somewhere. Namaste. Book 4. Then from that city garden, with their eyes restless in excitement, the women went out to meet the prince as a newly arrived bridegroom. And when they came up to him, their eyes wide open in wonder, they performed their due homage with hands folded like a lotus calyx. Then they stood surrounding him, their minds overpowered by passion, as if they were drinking him in, with their eyes motionless and blossoming wide with love. Some of the women verily thought that he was Kama incarnate, decorated as he was, with his brilliant signs as with carnate ornaments. Others thought from his gentleness and majesty that it was the moon, with its ambrosial beams, as it were visibly come down to the earth. Others, smitten by his beauty, yawned as if to swallow him, and fixing their eyes on each other, softly sighed. Thus the women only looked upon him, simply gazing with their eyes. They spoke not, nor did they smile, controlled by his power. But having seen them thus listless, bewildered in their love, the wise son of the family priest, Aryan, thus addressed them. Ye are all skilled in all the graceful arts, proficient in understanding the language of amorous sentiments, possessed of beauty and gracefulness, thorough masters in your own styles. With these graces of yours, ye may embellish even the northern gurus, even the dances of Kubera, much more this little earth. Ye are able to move even sages who have lost all their desires, and to ensnare even the gods who are charmed by heavenly nymphs. By your skill in expressing the heart's feelings, by your coquetry, your grace, and your perfect beauty, you are able to enrapture even women, how much more easily men? You thus skilled as ye are, each set in her own proper sphere, such as this is your power, I am not satisfied with your simplicity. This timid action of yours will be fit for new brides, their eyes closed through shame, or it might be a blandishment worthy even of the wives of the cowherds. What though this hero be great by his exalted glory, yet great is the might of women. Let this be your firm resolve. In olden time, a great seer, hard to be conquered even by the gods, was spurned by a harlot, the beauty of Kaashi, planting her feet upon him. The Pipushu Matala Gautama was also formerly spurned by Balak Mukhya with her leg, and wishing to please her, he carried out dead bodies for her sake to be buried. And a woman low in standing and caste fascinated the great seer Gautama, though a master of long penances and old in years. So Shananda, by her various wiles, captivated and subdued the sage's son Roshya Shuranganga, unskilled in women's ways. And the great seer Vishvamitra, though plunged in a profound penance, was carried captive for 10 years in the forest by the nymph Kritaki. Many such seers as these have women brought to shame, how much more than the delicate prince in the first flower of his age. This being so, boldly put forth your efforts that the prosperity of the king's family may not be turned away from him. Ordinary women captivate similar lovers, but there are truly women who subdue the natures of high and low. Having heard these words of Udayin, these women, as stung to the heart, rose even above themselves for the conquest of the prince. With their brows, their glances, their coquetries, their smiles, their delicate movements, they made all sorts of significant gestures like women early terrified. But they soon regained their confidence through the command of the king and the gentle temperament of the prince, and through the power of intoxication and of love. Then, surrounded by troops of women, the prince wandered in the wood like an elephant in the forests of Himavat, accompanied by a herd of females. Attended by the women, he shone in that pleasant grove as the sun surrounded by Apsarasas in his royal garden. There some of them, urged by passion, pressed him with their full firm bosoms in gentle collisions. Yet another violently embraced him after making a pretended stumble, leaning on him with her shoulders drooping down and with her gentle creeper-like arms dependent. Another, with her mouth smelling of spirituous liquor, her lower lip red like copper, whispered in his ear, "Let my secret be heard." Another, all wet with unguents, as if giving him her command, clasped his hand eagerly and said, "Perform thy rites of adoration here." Another, with her blue garments continually slipping down in pretended intoxication, stood conspicuous with her tongue visible like the night with its lightning flashing. Others, with their golden zones tinkling, wandered about here and there, showing to him their hips veiled with thin cloth. Others leaned, holding a mango bowl in full flower, displaying their bosoms like golden jars. Another, coming from a lotus bed, carrying lotuses and with eyes like lotuses, stood like the lotus goddess Padma by the side of that lotus-faced prince. Another sang a sweet song easily understood, and with the proper gesticulations, rousing him, self-subdued though he was, by her glances, as saying, "Oh, how thou art deluded." Another, having armed herself with her bright face, with its brow bowl drawn to its full, imitated his action as playing the hero. Another, with beautiful full bosoms and having her earrings waving in the wind, laughed loudly at him as if saying, "Catch me, sir, if you can." Some, as he was going away, found him with strings of garlands. Others punished him with words like an elephant driver's hook, gentle yet reproachful. Another, wishing to argue with him, seizing a mango spray, asked, all bewildered with passion, "This flower, whose is it?" Another, assuming a gait and attitude like those of a man, said to him, "Thou who art conquered by women, go and conquer this earth." Then another, with rolling eyes, smelling a blue lotus, thus addressed the prince with words slightly indistinct in her excitement. "See, my lord, this mango covered with his honey-scented flowers, where the kokila sings as if imprisoned in a golden cage. Come and see this ashoka tree, which augments lovers' sorrows, where the bees make a noise as if they were scorched by fire. Come and see this tilaka tree, embraced by a slender mango branch, like a man in a white garment by a woman decked with yellow unguents. Behold this kurubaka in flower, bright like fresh resin juice, which bends down as if it felt reproached by the color of women's nails. Come and see this young ashoka covered all over with new shoots, which stands as it were ashamed at the beauty of our hands. See this lake surrounded by the sindubara, shrubs growing on its banks like a fair woman reclining, clad in fine white cloth. See the imperial power of females. Yonder ruddy goose in the water goes behind his mate, following her like a slave. Come and listen to the notes of this intoxicated cuckoo as he sings, while another cuckoo sings as if consenting, wholly without care. With that thine was the intoxication of the birds which the spring produces, and not the thought of a thinking man ever pondering how wise he is. Thus, these young women, their souls carried away by love, assailed the prince with all kinds of stratagems. But although thus attacked, he, having his senses guarded by self-control, neither rejoiced nor smiled, thinking anxiously, one must die. Having seen them in their real condition, that best of men pondered with an undisturbed and steadfast mind. What is it that these women lack, that they perceive not that youth is fickle? For this old age will destroy whatever has beauty. Verily, they do not see anyone's plunge into disease, and so dismissing fear, they are joyous in a world which is all pain. Evidently, they know nothing of death, which carries all away, and so at ease and without distress they can sport and laugh. What rational being who knows of old age, death, and sickness could stand or sit down at his ease or sleep, far less laugh? But he verily is like one bereft of sense, who, beholding another aged or sick or dead, remains self-possessed and not afflicted. Even when a tree is deprived of its flowers and fruits, or if it is cut down and falls, no other tree sorrows. Seeing him thus absorbed in contemplation, with his desires estranged from all worldly objects, Udayin, while skilled in the rules of policy, with kindly feelings addressed him. Since I was appointed by the king as a fitting friend for thee, therefore I have a wish to speak to thee in this friendliness of my heart, to hinder from what is disadvantageous, to urge to what is advantageous, and not to forsake in misfortune. These are the three marks of a friend. If I, after having promised my friendship, were not to heed when thou turnest away from the great end of men, there would be no friendship in me. Therefore, I speak as thy friend. Such rudeness as this to women is not befitting for one young in years and graceful in person. It is right to woo a woman even by guile. This is useful both for getting rid of shame and for one's own enjoyment. Reverential behavior and compliance with her wishes are what binds a woman's heart. Good qualities truly are a cause of love, and women love respect. Wilt thou not then, O large thy prince, even if thy heart is unwilling, seek to please them with a courtesy worthy of this beauty of thine? Courtesy is the balm of women. Courtesy is the best ornament. Beauty without courtesy is like a grove without flowers. But of what use is courtesy by itself? Let it be assisted by the heart's feelings. Surely, when worldly objects so hard to attain are in thy grasp, thou wilt not despise them. Knowing that pleasure was the best of objects, even the god Puranandara wooed in olden time Ahalya, the wife of the saint Gautama. So too Agasthya wooed Rohinui, the wife of Soma, and therefore, as Shruti saith, a like thing befell Lopamudraya. The great ascetic Buddhacharitam begot Paradvaja and Mamata, the daughter of the Maruts, the wife of Autatya. The moon, the best of offers, begat Buddhata of divine nature on the spouse of Buddhacharitam as she was offering a libation. So too, in old time, Parashara, overpowered by passion on the bank of the Yamuna, lay with the maiden Kali, who was the daughter of the son of the water. The sage Vasishuta, through lust, begot a son, Kapingalada, an Akushamala, a despised, low-caste woman. And the seer king, Yayati, even when the vigor of his prime was gone, sported in the Chaitralata forest with the Aposaras, Bishabangaji. And the Kaurava king Panundwe, though he knew that intercourse with his wife would end in death, yet overcome by the beauty and good qualities of Madhuri, yielded to the pleasures of love. And so Karalaganaka, when he carried off the Brahman's daughter, incurred loss of caste thereby, but he would not give up his love. Great heroes such as these pursued even contemptible desires for the sake of pleasure, how much more so when they are praiseworthy of their kind. And yet thou, a young man possessed of strength and beauty, despisest enjoyments which rightly belong to thee, and to which the whole world is devoted. Having heard these specious words of his, while supported by sacred tradition, the prince made reply in a voice like the thundering of a cloud. This speech manifesting affection is well befitting in thee, but I will convince thee as to where thou wrongly judgest me. I do not despise worldly objects. I know that all mankind are bound up therein, but remembering that the world is transitory, my mind cannot find the pleasure in them. Old age, disease, and death, if these three things did not exist, I too should find my enjoyment in the objects that please the mind. Yet even though this beauty of women were to remain perpetual, still delight in the pleasures of desire would not be worthy of the wise man. But since their beauty will be drunk up by old age, to delight therein through infatuation cannot be a thing approved even by thyself. He who himself subject to death, disease, and old age can sport undisturbed with those whose very nature implies death, disease, and old age. Such a man is on a level with birds and beasts. And as for what thou sayest as to even those great men having become victims to desire, do not be bewildered by them, for destruction was also their lot. Real greatness is not to be found there where there is universally destruction, or where there is an attachment to earthly objects, or a want of self-control. And when thou sayest, let one deal with women even by guile, I know naught about guile, even if it be accompanied with courtesy. That compliance too with the woman's wishes pleases me not. If truthfulness be not there, if there be not a union with one's whole soul and nature, then out upon it, say I. A soul overpowered by passion, believing in falsehood, carried away by attachment, and blind to the faults of its objects, what is there in it worth being deceived? And if the victims of passion do deceive one another, are not men unfit for women to look at, and women for men? Since then these things are so, thou surely wouldst not lead me astray into ignoble pleasures, me afflicted by sorrow and subject to old age and death. Ah, thy mind must be very firm and strong if thou canst find substance in the transitory pleasures of sense. Even in the midst of violent alarm thou canst cling to worldly objects when thou seest all created beings in the road of death. But I am fearful and exceedingly bewildered as I ponder the terrors of old age, death, and disease. I can find no peace, no self-command, much less can I find pleasure when I see the world as it were ablaze with fire. If desire arises in the heart of the man who knows that death is certain, I think that his soul must be made of iron, who restrains it in this great terror and does not weep. Then the prince uttered a discourse full of resolve in abolishing the objects of desire. And the Lord of Day, whose orb is the worthy center of human eyes, departed to the western mountain. And the women, having worn their garlands and ornaments in vain, with their graceful arts and endearments all fruitless, concealing their love deep in their hearts, returned to the city with broken hopes. Having thus seen the beauty of the troop of women who had gone out to the city garden, now withdrawn in the evening, the prince, pondering the transitoriness a transitoriness, which envelops all things, entered his dwelling. Then the king, when he heard how his mind turned away from all objects of sense, could not lie down all that night, like an elephant with an arrow in its heart. But wearied in all sorts of consultation, he and his ministers could find no other means besides these pleasures to restrain his son's purpose. I want to read that again. It's really long sentence. Oh, that's the last one. Okay, I'm gonna read the last shloka translation again. Then the king, when he heard how his mind turned away from all objects of sense, could not lie down all that night, like an elephant with an arrow in his heart. But wearied in all sorts of consultation, he and his ministers could find no other means beside these pleasures to restrain his son's purpose. It's not in thus ends the 4th chapter of Buddhacharitam, a chapter named, gotta find the name for it. So this one doesn't give the translate. Let me see. This one has the title. Okay, The Women Rejected. That's the title. Thank you very much. Namaste. I'm gonna chant for, let me see, can I chant before doing yoga? I might just do yoga. I'm gonna do yoga. I'm gonna set it up here. For the first time I'm doing open yoga session, so the windows are open so everybody can see I'm doing yoga. I'm not doing crazy dragon stuff, just yoga. Alright, so yoga in 15 minutes. Thank you very much. And yeah, if you've been practicing yoga every day for like 10 years or more, once a week is enough. Think about that, please. Thank you. Have a good day. Namaste. Yoga next, 15 minutes.